Welcome back to my channel. Perhaps you have noticed I have this little dinosaur from Basquiat. Okay, not really. It's from the brand Uniqlo and I found it cute, so I've been wearing it today. I want to talk about artists' residency and perhaps as an artist what you could expect from attending an artist residency and like the different types of residency. And I'll just give you an example because today I visited my friend Stephen. I have been friends with him for such a long time, but we never really met in person, and I thought it's a good opportunity to visit him in the Shunyi area. And I heard that he had been doing a very interesting project running an artist's residency, and they are going to host an exhibition soon. I will miss it because I will head back to Europe really soon, but I wanted just to drop by and see how is he doing. This artist residency is located in an area a little bit remote, and it took me more than an hour to get there. It's near the airport Terminal 3 and it's in the village, like Shunyi Lizhuang village. This area is newly developed by a developer, and Steven initiated this artist residency project, and they could host up to 20 artists, and right now they have around 8 artists in residence. And next week they are going to host an artist exhibition of all of the artists in residence, of all of these works being created during the residency in this new art museum. And then during this event they will also try to connect artists with some collectors and sell their works so that they don't have to bring their works back. And I met 3 artists out of the 8 artists in residence, although that I could have met more, but I didn't have the time and I don't want to take too much time from them because they were super busy creating artworks. I met Tom, Karen and Max. They are all different. They come from different backgrounds, different countries. They are in different stages of their art career. And I found it very inspiring and interesting talking to each one of them, so I can get different aspects of how they see this residency and perhaps how an artist residency could help an artist. In the case of Tom, after graduating from art school, he had been working in different industries. Lately, during the last year, he had been moving a lot, traveling in different parts of the world, so he didn't even have a physical space to paint. Now he had finally the opportunity to just have the space and the time for his art, and he could focus and concentrate. And he told me that since he arrived in Beijing in this artist residency, he hadn't even checked his email because he didn't want any noise. He just wanted to take advantage of the time and the space he had so that he could just do art and focus on this one task at hand and really relaunch his art career after a year of not doing art. Tom had not really had the chance to make a full-time living in art, and that was the reason that he had been doing different things and not really having the space and time to paint. With the artist residency, he also hoped to start to sell art and perhaps make a professional career as a full-time artist. And in the case of Karen, it's very different. Karen graduated from art school a long time ago and she's from America. There are a lot of opportunities, so she kind of got distracted and she started working on very interesting projects like this art magazine she had been doing for 9 years, and she verged away from her art. And now it is an opportunity for her to relaunch her art career after more than 20 years of not painting. And for her, it's about taking this space as a space to look for herself and look for her passion, look for her love for art. In the case of Max, is again very different. Max had been working as an artist for a long time and he's quite successful. He has over 5 galleries from all over the world representing him, and also he's a curator, he's a museum manager, and he had been running very different projects all over the world. And he's originally from London, but now he lives in the US, and he had been showing his art everywhere, and had been very busy doing all kind of things as you could imagine, being a curator, artist and art teacher all at once. For him, he wanted to take this opportunity to relax, and also discovering China and discovering the local art scene perhaps will inspire him to blend something else into his existing line of production. And as you can see that there are 3 different artists and they have 3 different situations and they wanted different things in terms of how this residency would help them in their art career. But I do find that they all wanted one thing, is they wanted a space in time so that they could focus producing art. And I think it's a lovely idea. Yes, most of the times the artists were so busy, distracted from their responsibilities, professional life, family life, and maybe social life. And now they're in a location completely isolated from their habitual environment, and they could review their past works and past life so that they could say, okay, maybe I want something different this point on, or I want to go back to that line of work, or I want to blend a new culture to my art. And these are all valid points, and I think this could be a reason for you to do an artist residency. But again, this is not really a good reason, because think about it, you can just rent an artist studio near your home in the countryside, and you don't have to cross the world just to be in a remote area painting 8 hours a day. I think there must be something more to just a space in time. So I went back to Stephen and I asked him, so tell me, what was your unique value proposition that you could offer to the artists so that you could be different from just a studio space or different from any other artist residencies in the US or in another location? And he told me something quite interesting, and I was thinking, and for the past few hours I've been reflecting on this. Stephen told me that we could offer a unique opportunity for the artists to network with local galleries, local collectors, and local museums, so that they could, make the connection and they could maintain the relationship after they are gone. And I thought, okay, it's a classical networking, relationships, 关系, in Shufi, however you call it, in almost every single language there is a thing. And it's a very, very good opportunity. Yes, I agree. But then I was thinking, okay, so the artists had not really the opportunity to sell in the past, and they came here, they produce, and now they're going to meet collectors, museums and galleries, and they're going to sell. I was like, okay, it's all very good planned, and I think it's an excellent idea, it's a good opportunity, and it's a privilege to have this opportunity as an artist. But I feel that there is something missing, because if the artist didn't sell before, and now they paint, before they painted too, okay? It's not like suddenly they have a space they paint. They had been painting, they didn't sell, they had other commitment, they have to make money, make the ends meet, and they give up art, and now they paint again. They're not gonna miraculously sell because now they have a studio space. If this is all what it takes, then you could have a lot of artists in the world. You could have a lot more successful artists if the space is all you need. I think there is something that could be added to the artist residency perspective, or this whole creative and marketing process. Artists won't sell because they didn't meet their market, and they didn't meet their market because they didn't meet their market. You know what I mean? If you're a man, you didn't attract a girl because you didn't attract a girl. How am I gonna tell you this? For example, it could be a variety of different reasons why you didn't attract this girl. For example, it could be that you didn't do your marketing so that nobody knows about you, so that you couldn't sell. Okay, it's one point. It could also be that the market wanted A, you're doing B, and just by doing B for the rest of your life, you're not gonna meet the market because you are meeting the market in the wrong places. And perhaps that you can argue with me that artists do art and it's a way they express themselves. Yes, it's called a hobby. If you want to express yourself and sell your work, I believe that you have to have certain kind of knowledge of what is expected, right? So in the art school, they tell you what is expected in terms of different composition, perspective, study of colors, different things. And in the case of market, the market wants different things, and without knowing what is good for the market, you can't really optimize your production, and you can't make sales and make a lot of sales and make a lot of money. Your career won't take off miraculously just because you have a studio space, you painted 10 works, and you are shown in a museum or in a gallery. It will boost your chance, but it's a marketing for a product. If the product is good, it's gonna sell. If the product is not good, marketing alone won't sell. So I think in this whole artist residency idea, artists should be aware of the market, and especially the local market. Especially Stephen told me that he could have the local collectors coming for the event, and he could hook the artists up with a local art scene. A local art scene is different in every area. Those artists are from all over the world, and by coming to Beijing, it does not mean that automatically they are briefed and they know what the Beijing market wants. And I think it's even more foreign to them, so that they even needed more time and more information to be able to meet the local market. I think it's very important to add this aspect, the educational aspect, the debriefing of what the market wants, especially the local market where the residency is based and where the artists are expected to sell. And it's an optional course. If the artist wanted to know, it's there. If the artist didn't want to know nothing about it, fine. Like, you can just produce and you can let the luck play a role in the sales of your artworks. Why not? I mean, it's artistic freedom, right? It's also a market freedom to not to buy your work. So I think it's my opinion. What do you think? If you have any suggestions to Stephen, perhaps leave me a comment. I will pass it to him. And also, if you're interested in knowing how to apply, also leave me a comment. I will put you in touch with Stephen. That's it for today. I'm very exhausted from this trip to the village, and now I'm just gonna take a break. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.